Hi, today we're meeting with Kristi Lefholz, and she is one of my subscribers to my blog, and she's been very helpful with me and the stories that I write. And her family has been an inspiration for me. Um, I am introducing her to you today. She's going to speak to us from the homeschool world and their experience with homeschooling. I know everyone's different, but she's going to talk about hers. Hi,
Yeah.
Kristi.
Hi guys, how are you? Glad to be here.
Yeah. So the first question I have, I guess, is oh, what was the first question? Um, let's see. What do you think makes your homeschool successful? I mean, I'm sure there's more than one answer.
Yeah, there really is. Okay, so give them a good breakfast.
Okay.
Full bellies mean happy hearts.
Okay.
We really do. We always start our day with a good breakfast, but um in all seriousness, really I think that you just need to kind of yield to God because I am a planner. I don't know, a lot of people kind of have this ability to go with the flow and it's just natural for them, but I'm like, no, we got to write it all down. We got to have everything planned. And
Yeah.
so it's been a learning process for me, but I have found that when I can just let go of knowing that everything has to go my way, it is so much better because God does better things than we can. You know what I mean? I
Uh-huh.
plan it and I just yield and, it works out whenever I'm okay when things go a different
I'm
way.
a planner too, and I would always do my lesson plans way ahead of time. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember when I was homeschooling both of mine. I mean, I've done both. I've done classroom teaching and I've done homeschool.
Huh?
But when I was homeschooling, I had Danielle who was 4, so she was in preschool, and Cassidy was just going into second grade,
Huh?
so she was like 4 years older. And I remember distinctly one day because she was Cassidy wanted me to just give her the give me the lesson plans. I'll just go to my room and do it because I had to spend more time with Danielle because she couldn't read yet.
Right, right. Yeah. This
So
is
that was
true.
the way, that's the way that went. So I said, okay. So I just finished her
Yeah.
work and said, come out if you have any questions.
Yeah.
That's
I
not
mean, my
the
10-year-old was doing school in the sandbox the other day. I'm like, it works.
How
It's
many children do you
beautiful.
have?
We have 4.
Okay.
We're doing school with 3 right now. So our 1-year-old, soon to be 2, is not really in school. She's just
No.
like along for the ride. Like
Uh-huh.
she goes to the schoolroom with us, but yeah, she does school, but like I'm not doing a curriculum with her or
No,
anything.
no. And
But
then your
my
other,
and so then I have a almost 4-year-old boy and he just started preschool this year. So we're doing preschool. And then we have an 8-year-old who's in 3rd grade and a 10-year-old in 5th grade. So,
Mhm.
yeah. 4.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a lot to think about too. So how do you and your husband divide up school? Does your husband help with school?
Yeah, yeah, actually he is a big help. Well, we have the freedom because he works from home. So, usually his schedule's pretty flexible, which is a huge blessing. Since we have 4 and 2 of them being a little younger. His role that he plays really is kind of like principal and PE coach.
Okay.
Those are kind of his roles if we have to put a name to them. Um, but he really does like sometimes he'll come in and he'll be like, the principal's coming to visit. And he'll sit in on a classroom, just for a minute while we're doing a lesson. And
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's really good. It kind of makes the girls know that, like, okay, so he really is paying attention. Like, he cares about our school and, he gives feedback and he's involved in it, which is important.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's also their PE coach. Like, he takes them out to play tennis and teaches them. He's working with them on that right now and swimming, running, exercise stuff,
Yeah.
that's totally his field.
Yeah. Well, great. Okay. And then do your older kids ever help you with the little ones?
Oh yeah, yeah, they are actually really good with helping, especially my 10-year-old. She's she's actually kind of gifted with little ones in general. She really enjoys it. She's really creative, so she comes up with games and little rhymes and things like that just naturally, and
Oh,
they all kind of gravitate to her. But yeah, there are times when both my 8 and 10-year-old can play with the little ones while I work with the other one on one, you know?
mhm.
But it kind of rotates, yeah. I don't try to let that be for too long of a time, maybe 30
Oh,
minutes at the most, you know?
yeah.
But yeah, they will when I'm in the room helping too.
So when you have these different levels, how do you manage the different levels?
I mean, it kind of looks different sometimes. Like, I mean, we sort of make a routine. Like, I don't try to get too strict on like timelines and things because it changes day to day.
Mhm.
But I do like to have a routine. Like, there's a certain flow we go through
So
most
like you have a
days.
time for spelling, a time for math.
Like first we're gonna do some together work, things that we can do together, and then this child's gonna watch the little ones while I work one-on-one with this one, because we have some subjects that they do only on their own, like their English, their math, their spelling, but everything else we pretty much do together. So our science and history, geography, and
Do you
oh, there's something else we were gonna what'd you say?
do you have a curriculum that you use one of, or do you kind of mix it up?
It's kind of a mix up. Yeah, we use BJU for math and English and spelling, but this year we're doing Story of the World for history. We have a master book zoology course. Um, we do a little bit of My Father's World for geography, and they kind of do include Bible in that too. And then we do, like Bible study and some different things that we go to as well. But
I remember talking to you about that another time, and you said you just really use the Bible.
yeah, for Bible, we just use the Bible. I mean, sometimes like we do go to the Bible study once a week, which they kind of guide you through a book. Like this year we're going to do the book of Revelation. Um but like generally I just want them to get in their Bibles every day, and just spend a little bit of time reading it and really let the Spirit speak to them too,
And then
not.
you have other homeschool families that you cooperate with and do things with too?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of homeschoolers, especially right now. I don't know if it was since COVID came and people kind of were in that crisis school, where they like
Yep.
had to homeschool whether they were ready or not. I think a lot of people kind of found that, okay, well, we could do this, maybe they got a little encouragement just trying it. But there's a ton of people homeschooling right now.
So do you do things like field trips and things together and
Yeah, we do. We do some field trips together. A lot of times it's play dates and just getting together with other homeschool families,
mhm.
especially during the week, when it's most kids are out in a public school or a private school and the zoo is empty, like you could go visit the zoo on a regular day and it's pretty smooth sailing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You could go to a park and there's really not a lot of people there.
yeah.
So meeting up with some other homeschool groups or families are nice for times like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
Okay,
do we do that.
okay. And what would you say is the favorite thing you love about homeschooling? I mean, is there one favorite thing?
That's so hard. That's a really hard question.
No.
Um, let's see. I really like being able to see, I don't know, sometimes like with my kids, if they're struggling in something, like for example, the other day, one of my girls was really, really struggling with math. She was having a really hard time with this concept. And she sort of got into this like spiral of like everything's bad and she was complaining and just like seeing her go through this struggle and being able in the middle of a school day where she's able to talk about it in the middle of the day. She doesn't have to kind of hold it in. We can just sit down and talk about it.
Mhm,
And letting her, just express what was going on and then all having the ability to kind of disciple into that. Like, okay, here's the deal. Like I get that this is hard, but you can do hard things, and teaching her some perseverance having some discipline and, being self-controlled and what she vents, because some of it wasn't necessarily even related. It just was kind of coming that way. And she
Mhm.
was allowing her thoughts to just be filled with negative. But a
Mhm.
lot of that wasn't even true because, really she just didn't want to do it, I think. And then she sat down and she did it and it was done in like 20 minutes. And then she was like, you know, she was like, "I changed the way I was thinking about it because I was like, it's a blessing to be able to learn to do math. There's a time when you're gonna wanna apply this and, just working through it." And I don't know, like, she was just had this complete 180 where she turned around and she was like, "I can do hard things." And, like, you
That's
know,
amazing.
it was just really cool to kinda see that. But I love to also, like, just encourage them and help them to grow in places that they want to, because we're not bound to learning any one specific thing. Like zoology, like they love zoology right now. They want to learn zoology. I'm like, okay, we can do zoology. Like
Yeah,
we
we
have
can
the
do
freedom
that.
to do that.
Yeah.
And one of my girls loves dogs and she's started dog walking, and so I'm able to like kind of help her and encourage her and my husband and dog walking. And she's starting her own little career at age 10, which is so cool. I just
Yeah,
love, being able to do that. That's more than one favorite. Sorry.
that's fine, that's fine, I understand. And math is more about how to think than
Yeah.
any I mean, you do need basic math just to
Yes.
just to function in the world, but then
Right.
there's upper math, and some of that gets kind of abstract,
Oh yeah.
and you wonder, "Why am I ever why are we learning this?"
Mhm.
Well, a lot of math is just learning to think. It's just how to
Yeah.
process things.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And in your life, you're gonna use problem solving,
Mhm.
and there's more than one way to solve problems. Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
remember I never did like upper math until I went to college and I had a professor who I think he was from China or somewhere. He was Oriental, and he would always come in and he'd go, "Good morning, Cross." We'd all say good morning, and and then he would go to the board and he would say, "Okay, for the homework we had this problem and we could do it this way, or we could do it this way, or we could do it this way, or we could do it." And he did like 6 ways. And finally, I mean, that year, I just like the light bulb came on. And it's like,
Oh, that's
oh,
great.
and all the math that I ever tried to learn it just fell into place. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
I
that's
get it.
great. Yeah, that's
And
so
then I
cool.
started tutoring algebra.
Wow, that's great. Look at that turnaround.
Yeah. So I know what you mean by
Yeah.
the light bulb. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah, it's so cool. And we really love being able to pick curriculum that's got a biblical worldview,
Uh-huh.
like that's super important to us too. So I really do love that part of homeschool too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any recommendations of like, let's say, maybe we could put this in the notes or something, but
Uh-huh.
names of books that your kids enjoy.
Well, they're doing a book club right now with another homeschool group. And right now we're reading through the Laura Ingalls Wilder books.
Oh, uh-huh.
We love those.
Yeah.
Um, my oldest really liked the Wing Feather books. My two older ones, they really liked those. The Wing Feather Saga. They love the Green Ember
Hmm.
series.
He has a new one out now.
Oh,
I can't,
does he?
yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but
Okay.
yeah,
I
he
think
does.
that my oldest is in the Archer series in it
Hmm.
now. So,
Hmm.
but I'll have to look and see if there's another new one.
Yeah, I think
Um,
it's called The Lost Boys or something like that.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. We'll have to look at it. Yeah, SD Smith is good. Let's see. I don't know. I'll have to think about some other ones that maybe pop up there, but those are
Okay.
kind of their top ones right now.
Okay. Well, thank
Yeah.
you for visiting with us,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that you spent this time.
Ah, thank you for having me. It's been
Yeah.
my pleasure.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'm gonna stop recording, but we can talk for a minute if you want.
Sounds great.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.